welcome back everybody to my channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about poly shirts and why we're going to be getting back into them. So let's go ahead and start. Alright, the poly bench press shirt is pretty much as old as the hills. Bench press shirts got their start in the game back in 1984 when the first shirt came out. The squat suit came before that by a company called Marathon. A few years later, the bench shirt came out. It was a poly material, and it was designed to help you keep from tearing your pecs, tearing up your shoulders, keeping people from getting injuries. And it pretty much stayed that way up until these last few years when the band shirts became really popular. And obviously, I'm really glad they're around, and I'm having fun using those too. But I was in poly shirts for 13 years. Most of my career, I used Titan Katana shirts, single ply, double ply, triple ply, open back, closed back, you name it, I used it. Grid stitch, non-grid stitch. With Anderson Powerlifting being a distributor for Titan equipment, that was my bench press shirt of choice for a very, very long time. But what I have in my hands right here is not a Katana. This is actually a Multiply F6, a very, very fine bench shirt. The difference between this and a Katana, besides the name and the logo, is the material that it's made of. Without getting very heavily into what polys are, how they work, I have other videos on my channel that describe that. This F6 is made of Generation 2 NXG material. So you have NXG, first generation, NXG Plus, which is what this is made of. And then the Super Katanas are made of NXG Super Plus, or the third generation material. One layer of Katana is 26, I believe, percent thicker than one layer of F6. Now this particular F6 has been highly modified to fit my very odd proportions. I think we figured out that my upper arm bones, my humerus bones, are abnormally short. But so yeah, I've had it modified quite a few times. I've broken it in, had it sent it to get tightened up. I've had the chest plate taken in, the sleeves shortened. Then you've got the normal things for multiply. You've got the open back with the Velcro closures and things like that. I also have extra material that was sewed onto the bottom of the shirt, so it's not really a crop top on me. So that's nice to have that extra length. But why get back into polys in the first place? Mr. Rob Farrell of F8 Powerlifting has concocted a very, very awesome, very difficult competition. July 20th, I believe, up in Clarion, Pennsylvania. It's a sanctioned IPA meet, 3 attempts. Your first attempt is single ply polyester. Your second attempt is multiply poly. And then your third attempt is unlimited or band shirt. And then you get a combined total that determines your placing. So after 3.5 years of doing absolutely zero poly work, now it's time to get back into poly after all that time and start breaking this thing in. Most of the time you don't want to take a poly fresh out of the bag and just start using heavy weight with it. We have this brand new material and these brand new fibers that are woven very, very stiffly together. And we need to get those fibers moving and get them to start opening up slowly. So what I'll do is I'll take lightweight, 4 plates, 5 plates, 6 plates. I'll take the weight out and I'll start doing little quarter reps with it, trying to get the material to start moving. And then slowly throughout the next 2 to 3 sessions, maybe 4, I'll slowly add weight, I'll do more reps, maybe add water to the chest plate. Water will help the polyester open a little bit faster. I have a whole video on breaking in poly shirts, but basically the same thing as that video said. I'll do 4 to 5 sessions total for break-ins before I start taking heavy weight down to the boards, work my way down the boards, learn the groove of the shirt before going for a successful touch. So it's going to be very interesting to see what, after 3.5 years of doing absolutely no poly work, what the transition is like. So why not just return to what I know and trust, right? 13 years of successful benching, all the way from the low 7s all the way up to 1,120 pounds, the single ply bench that I did in June of 21. Why not just go back to that? Well, one of the main reasons I'll point out that I don't want to use katanas anymore is the seam. So on this F6, if you look here, this is the seam of the sleeve right here. It's straight. It's a straight seam shirt. The katanas, if I had one around, which I don't right now, this seam would actually twist. It would actually have a twist to it. It's called the torque sleeve. It's actually a patented design by Titan. I like the straight seam. I like the more simple design. So this is going to be very interesting, getting back into it. It may need further modifications, I think. The arms, I think, are still just a tad bit too long. So what I would do is have about a 1/2 inch more taken off. If I swam into it, my elbow would be exposed, I think. If not, you can always roll the sleeves like that. It's one trick that we did to get the shirt off of your elbow back when it was all polys. That's one thing I could do as well. But Yeah, so this might need a little bit more modifications done. So an F6 being thinner material, the difference in the sleeve design being straight seam, just the way they're built, you have a little bit more play when it comes to touching. So in any poly shirt, really, any bench shirt, you have a groove. A groove of the shirt is the path in which the bar must come down. It's not like a raw bench where you can just touch wherever you want. You have to follow a specific path coming down. And in a katana, that path, especially when you get down to that last half inch to a quarter inch, you have millimeters of play back and forth to where you can touch. If you come out of that groove, even a millimeter this way or that way, you'll dump it. And I've done that before, both ways, on my face and into my belly. But yes, this meet's going to be very interesting. July 20th, again, your first attempt to single ply, so I still have that to figure out still. I got to get to a single ply that will actually fit, that I can break in, perform with, in time for July 20th. So technically, right now, as I sit here after the Arnold, that's the next time I'm competing. I don't have anything else planned right now. I'm trying to do a 3-month block where I'm training for heavy bench, breaking in a new bencher from Rob Farrell, and I'm trying to come up with a number. I will train for 3 months. If I figure out I could probably hit a big number after the end of 3 months, like I could probably hit 14 plus, I'll scan for a meet, see if I can jump in, if they have, proper benches and bars and plates and things. If it's not too far of a drive, do a meet, try to post a big number. If not, then I'll just train for the next 3 months, break in these polys, break in the band shirt, train for July, and then after July, I'll look for a competition to hit a big number. Again, the meet in July is not about the biggest bench wins. It's about building that total. So it's going to be very, very fun. It's going to be very, very challenging, but that's why we do it. So again, if you want to watch the progress, if you want to see what I do in the gym to get these big benches and going through the process of breaking in these polys, follow me on Patreon or YouTube members. You can watch every workout that I do, every rep of every set of every movement that I do in the gym 5 days a week. Thank you all for joining me here today. If you like the content, you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me. And until next time, stay strong.